Welcome back to Sports Breakfast Show right here on Magic 102.9 FM, proudly brought to you by Hollandia Milk. Now let's talk some football, where Super Eagles striker Victor Osihmen has turned down a renewed mega offer from Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal, opting instead to remain in Europe as interest from top sides intensifies. Now Al Hilal, who recently appointed former Inter Milan boss Simone Inzaghi as manager, had made Osihmen their top transfer priority ahead of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. In an effort to lure the Nigerian forward, who is presently in Nigeria for holidays, the Saudi Giants tabled a staggering salary offer worth 120 million euros over 3 years, roughly about 40 million euros annually. However, despite the lucrative nature of the deal, the 26-year-old here has now declined that offer. A source very close to Osihmen put out that yesterday. Well, Sam, I don't know. He's wishing Al Hilal the best, but he says he's not going to go there. This marks the third time Osihmen has rejected Al Hilal's advances. And then you want, okay, maybe it's a good deal, I mean, from your own perspective, though, but in terms of the monetary, the financials, you might be asking what exactly is wrong with this man. If you look at the figures involved, this will change your whole, your generation yet unborn, the one with the never born, that's the financials there. But in terms of the football, Osihmen wants to remain very relevant and stay in Europe.
You know, I've always talked about being relevant, and even though a lot of persons didn't catch it at the time, but truth is, I mean, you leave Central Europe and you're almost forgotten. Almost forgotten. I used almost, very carefully. Osihmen is a bright prospect. Osihmen is a player who can easily walk into any top side. I mean, name them. I mean, any top side in Europe. I'm talking Real Madrid, I'm talking Barcelona, I'm talking, just name them for me. I'm talking top sides in Europe and will have a commanding first team shirt. Osihmen is that player for me. And I mean, maybe I saw through that. Maybe I saw that and I was really eager to know exactly what he will be thinking. Whether to leave mainstream Europe and go to, Saudi. Because, I mean, the money is there in Saudi. There's no denying that fact. They have the money to spend. I think they're actually the most spending, league as far as the world is concerned now. If after doing what he did for Galatasaray, he would want to say, okay, let's take that switch, immediately to, for instance, England. It's going to be a huge one, really for Osihmen. But I think Al Hilal came with something special. I'm certain that Napoli do not want him. He certainly doesn't want to play for Napoli anymore. Galatasaray is one who is very keen on him, and I did say before the season ended, if I were Osihmen, I'll probably stay put at Galatasaray. Yeah, but we have a lot of big clubs who are coming, who are knocking. Now the problem is they are not willing to pay what Osihmen think he is worth.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem is, really.
That's clubs in Europe.
Clubs in Europe. I'm talking Premier League clubs, and I'm talking, Spanish clubs. They are not willing to pay what he think he is worth. I mean, if you're offering, what's his name, Florian Wirtz, setting maybe 200 or 250 every week, Osihmen should be worth more than that. Because, man, I mean, the boy he's written his name in gold. He has conquered Italian football. He has conquered, Turkish football. What again does he... In fact, even in France, I mean, he was one of the leading goal scorers before the COVID happened, and the league had to be ended abruptly. So it's not a matter of if he can. We know he can. He knows he can.
Proven himself over
time and over again. Now, if clubs, say in England, in Spain, in Italy, are not willing to offer him that amount of money, well, fine and good. If Galatasaray are ready, I mean, stay put at Galatasaray, man. You're loving Galatasaray. People are beginning to love Galatasaray because of you.
I think Napoli would want an outright sale this time around.
Yes, they want. But the problem with Napoli is they want a huge fee, a commanding fee. Gala is not willing to pay that commanding fee, that huge fee for Victor Osihmen. Napoli is written out for about 70 million pounds, 80 million pounds in that region, and Gala is putting out about 60. In fact, as a matter of fact, at the last check, they had actually increased it to about 60 or 65 or thereabouts, for Victor Osihmen. But Napoli is just unwilling to go. What Al Hilal offered was 75 million pounds, and they had that deal struck immediately with Napoli. I mean, without regards to whether or not Osihmen, was going to be part of the, or go ahead, to the deal. Now, the thing is, I think one, Napoli is first, very stingy and wicked, and the president of the club knows, De Laurentiis knows exactly what he wants to do or what he's doing. But then Victor Osimhen is also one person who also understands what he is worth at this point in time. So it's either you sell him to Gala or we'll have a bigger club in England who is ready and willing to pay. Manchester United can afford to pay him £300, £300,000 every week. If that is what he's worth,
but they will not
pay him.
that because United are also in some financial crisis. Right? Don't forget, they're trying to cut down on their costs as well. Backroom staff.
There is that cliff. If you want a man, a striker who can actually elevate your club from substandard to, Osihmen is that man.
But with the wage, that's the problem here.
How much are you willing to pay Rhiannon?
If you look at Chelsea, for instance, I mean the top earners there about 180 or thereabouts.
So why not pay Victor Osimhen 220?
Osimhen is asking for 300,000. You know,
I'm saying no. I'm saying with paddy arrangement. If
so you're going to pay Osimhen more than you pay Cole Palmer, like if you Cole Palmer for
who is
instance.
Cole Palmer?
I'm just asking based on the fact that Palmer has been their go-to guy, the man carrying them for the past 2 seasons or thereabouts. So these are some of the things that it could also cause some kind of unrest within the group.
Well, I'm saying you're bringing in a player who's proven over and over again. You know, he's a man to go. Cole Palmer is just 2 seasons in. We're yet to really establish if outside of Chelsea he can even play.
Perform true.
You know, I mean, he's not established in that sense. We're talking about the player who finished 8th. As far as the FIFA Ballon d'Or is concerned, this is one man who's proven himself. He's not just a JB.
So just pay him the money already.
Pay him.
That's what you're saying.
Paddy arrangement. Bring the Drogba. Bring Mikel Obi. Tell them that you want to pay this guy 230. I mean, let's forget. Okay, because another argument is some of these monies are coming. Some of these players are collecting after tax.
Okay.
Now for Victor Osimhen, he'll probably be collecting before tax.
I think it's such a lie.
Really, like 100, 120.
You're not agree.